Okay, so I want to teach you how to change the world back. You've been given a 6-foot space between you and every other person. That means in order for you to touch a person, you have to go out of your way 6 feet to touch them. This virus doesn't have to go any distance whatsoever to touch you. So you have to do 6 good things for every one thing that this virus is doing bad. I have not been a really good person of creating calm. I'm beyond creating calm. I am digging down to truth. In the midst of that digging, I'm putting pieces together that sometimes don't go together. That in and of itself, speculating, is somewhat of a not truth. So I have to give up putting the pieces together because I probably don't have the right pieces, and the pieces I have might not even be true, considering where I'm getting those pieces. A lot from the media, a lot from hearsay, internet, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to stop speculating. That ends today. So for every one thing that this virus does, for every person that I see, my goal is to somehow make my bubble big enough that it touches them in a way that puts them back where they were. Actually, maybe not back where they were, but in a better place, a much better place than they were before my bubble hit them. Whether that's smiling and looking at somebody in the eye and saying, "Are you okay today? How are you doing? Are you coping with this okay? Is there something that I can do to make your day better today?" A smile, a kind word, doing something small, being conscientious, and remembering that when it comes right down to it, guys, and your eyes close, the people around you are the ones responsible for bringing you back to life, for saving your butt. You can't do that. You can't protect yourself. We've kind of made a world where we look after each other. We look after each other in sacrificial ways, sacrificing our own needs to take care of others, because we know that we live in a world where we can't always take care of ourselves. When you go unconscious and your family's not in that emergency room, your family's not in that ICU, you have to rely on the world around you. You have to rely on those people out there, and you have to make sure that that bubble that you've created around you, transforming lives in a positive way, will eventually reach back and touch you. I may not have done a great job teaching my kids that. I always believed that I would show that and not necessarily say that. So I've never actually said that to anybody. But it's important. I can't even stress to you how important that is. If you take away absolutely nothing from this life, it is that we can't always take care of ourselves. And by taking care of everyone around us and inspiring others to do the same, when the whole world is taking care of each other in that way, we have a perfect world. But when people start hoarding and they start trying to take care of just themselves, and it's all about me and protecting me and making sure I don't get this virus and don't come near me, and it's a natural, absolutely natural reflex to protect yourself. But you can't protect yourself from a virus. You can protect yourself from creating a world where nobody cares about the people that they're supposed to be taking care of. They're only concerned with themselves. So let me repeat that. You can't protect yourself from a virus. It's not something that you can protect yourself from. Masks not going to do it. It's just not something that you're capable of doing. You're talking about a microscopic thing here. What you can protect yourself from is creating a world where you walk into an emergency room and nobody is wanting to help you. They're scared of you. They're so scared of you that they put you in a ventilator to make sure that you don't breathe on them. They put you in a room with a really, really, really long tube so that they don't have to check on you, so they don't have to touch you, so they don't have to breathe on you. You can create a world where that doesn't happen, and the people around you are considering your life over theirs, and therefore you choose their life over yours, where everybody's doing that and everybody is making sure that that other person is protected. Or you can create a world where when it comes your time to get sick, you're better off dying at home in your bed with nobody touching you. Because those that touch you are only going to harm you. So let that sink in. The one thing that you can protect, the one thing that you can do something about, or you can choose to try and protect yourself from a virus that's impossible to protect yourself from. So it's not supposed to have to come to that. We spent so many years building a society where people literally gave up their lives to protect others all the time. All the time. And there's a lot of people out there doing that now. But there's a lot of people that by trying to protect their nurses, by trying to protect their doctors from an unseen enemy, and an enemy that they really can't protect themselves any more than what protocols dictate them on a regular basis doing. We've created a situation where we've made the patient the enemy and not the loss of what we've built up to a virus. China's not our enemy. Neither is Russia. None of those countries are your enemy. no more than the kidney is the enemy of the liver. No more than the heart is the enemy of the brain. There are no enemies out there. And as long as you are preaching that they are the enemy, as long as you are not appreciating the growing pains that that country went through to get where they're at, and even if they're not in the place that you think you would be at, given all of those historical years in that country, they are our neighbors in a closed system. And I don't know if I need to explain what a closed system is, but it basically means we're all on this ball, okay? We're all on the ball. And no matter what you do, it's gonna come back at you. It will come back. I can guarantee you it will come back. If you build spy planes and you go spy on another country, you will get spied on. If you create a campaign of lies, then you will never be able to believe anything for the rest of your life. You destroy yourself. I don't know how to explain that. I know that the world is going through growing pains, and maybe all of us are at different places when it comes to those lessons. But you can't do anything to anybody else without it getting done to you. And I don't know, I don't want you to have to learn that the hard way. I want you to be able to learn that in a lesson. Lesson plan, teacher teaches it to you, you understand it, and you learn that lesson without having to go through the motions of having to learn it the hard way. So, your bubble is 6 feet away from that next person. So you have to reach out 6 times harder, 6 times safer, to be able to bring a smile onto that person's face and change their day. And you may only change their day for a minute. It may change their entire day. It may change their week. Or it could actually change their life. You have that power. You don't have power over this virus. You can wash your hands. You can do as you're told. But you don't have power over the virus. But you do have the power to change somebody's day for the better. And if that's their last day on earth, if this is their last month, if that essential worker that you're coming into contact with ends up perishing in this pandemic, you did something amazing. You did that. You had the power to do that. If you're a nurse in a hospital and you've got a patient that you can't care for because it's out of your scope, it's your duty to be the advocate for that patient. Stand up for that patient. I don't care if you have to contact every newspaper on the planet. I don't care if you have to contact an attorney and sue the pants off of the person that's telling you that you have to take care of a patient that you don't know how to take care of. I don't care what you have to do to change that person who you are coming into contact with for the better. But we have to be a power bigger than this virus. And this virus is reaching hard, deep, and wide. That means we have to do it 6 times harder, deeper, and wider. I'm counting on you. The world's counting on you. Your future generations are counting on you to not change. To stand up and say, we are better than this. We are way better than this.